What is up, App Masters Academy? And in this brand new course, I want to show you what's working in ASO right now. And this is a campaign that I don't know if it's going to last much longer. And so I haven't shared this publicly. And the video I did share publicly, I actually took it down from YouTube because frankly, I don't want this campaign being well known, publicized, because I don't know how long it's going to work. But right now, it's working really, really well. And I want to share with you how to execute this campaign. It's essentially buying installs with keyword searches. So keyword installs. And I know I've shared this in the past, so let me share my screen with you guys too. But this is the website that I've shared in the past. So keyapp.top. I've got my app in here and I'll kind of go through this, how to run these campaigns with you in a little bit, but let me share with you some results of what's been working. All right, so this is just for iOS. I did a previous video on Google Play, but this one I'm just gonna focus on iOS. Now, actually, it doesn't change much, the execution-wise, but I did wanna split up the different videos, and then the examples I'm about to share are all on iOS too, and the examples I shared in the Google Play videos are all on Google Play. So really breaking it down and show you guys, but from a keyword install perspective and how many downloads you have to drive, it's all been pretty much very similar no matter what the platforms are, all right? So let's get into it. Here's a client of ours. And here's the phenomenal success that we've been able to do. So before we ran this campaign, we did some ASO for them, and I really want them to rank for this particular keyword. Now, it's a very competitive keyword. I'm going to show you the data on that keyword in a little bit, but we're ranking 239. After I was like, I want to go after this keyword, right? So they weren't optimized at all. I did the optimization. We started ranking 239 just from normal ASO that you guys can check out, and you guys probably already know already, okay? Now, we went into the top 10. I'll share with you exactly what we did, but essentially what we did was we drove some installs and we're able to get it around 43 right here. So this is our first effort. We got it right here. We did the same number of installs, and I'll share with you exactly what those installs should be, and then we're able to get into the top 10. And now, as of this recording, we're number 3 for this particular keyword, right? And I stopped. So, and I'll share with you what else I've been doing in the velocity, but this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. I've never seen a campaign work this well. And the cool thing is it's in our control. Like the other campaigns that I've shared with you guys in the past, it's like, all right, well, Google kind of decides where we end up. But this campaign, we almost determine where we want to end up, right? That's why I've taken that YouTube video down, because I don't want this campaign out and known by the general public, just you App Masters Academy people. All right, here is the keyword. Look, traffic-wise, 41 chance. As you guys know, the higher the better here. And so pretty competitive, right? 42 on App Radar, traffic-wise. Difficulty, 74. So a really competitive keyword that we were able to move from 239, and we were able to control it now into the top 5. Here's another client of ours that we're 26, and this is more recent, and we're able to now be in the top 5. Right? After driving all these keywords, right? So one thing you guys should know, run at your own risk. Don't come. This is all the legal disclaimer that you need to hear, okay? Been through some legal battles lately and just want you guys to understand this. Run this at your own risk. If you get banned, if iOS or Google Play bans you, that's on you, all right? I'm just sharing with you what has worked for us. Now, I've been able to take that risk with approval for our clients, but just make sure you know what you're getting into, that this could be something that Google and Apple do not like and may ban your app, all right? But I'll share with you what's been working. I've ran it for a handful of clients. It's so far good for us, but that doesn't mean it won't be good or it will be bad in the future. All right, so here's the way I approach ASO now, moving forward, okay? Because I have this campaign in my arsenal, I want the most relevant, most traffic keywords in my app title, all right? And I'll share with you, it doesn't matter if this particular keyword that you're going after, if you run this campaign, is in your app title, subtitle, or keyword field. It doesn't seem to matter as much, okay? I've been able to find some success with it by running it wherever they show up. Now, I do think that you definitely want it in the title regardless, because it's only going to help your organic and help you stick up longer. So if I had to guess, I would still put it run these campaigns on keywords that are in my title, but you can still run it if it's just in your keyword field too, okay? But you have to be ranking for it. If you're not ranking at all, like on Google Play, you know, they only go up to 250. If you're not ranking at all for it, you can't run this campaign. All right, here's what you want to do. You want to run around 100 keyword installs for 3 days if you're outside the top 10. That's what catapults the app this high. Went from 200 to 43, okay? You need to run, I did about 80 to 100, but roughly around 100 for 3 days. That's what really catapults it. Now, once within your top 10, test about 10 to 20 downloads for 7 days, right? So we went from a short burst of like 300 downloads total to now, once we're in the top 10, we want a longer, small drips, but a longer stretch. So the velocity slows down a little bit, the cadence, right? The velocity of downloads, but we're stretching this campaign longer, all right? So that's how I've been able to test it. I'm still running tests, frankly. So I'm not sure if this is why it's taking me a little bit longer to create this video, because I want to get more tests before I share with you guys, but this seems to be working for me. And again, if you guys are running your own tests, please let me know, whether, you know, email me or just put it on a Facebook group, wherever you guys want to put it, where you feel comfortable doing it. Just let me know, because I'm still running more and more tests and we can exchange some information. All right, so let me give you some data for some of this, for this client. So again, we were, let's see, where's our keyword rank for the last 30 days? So again, here we're in the top 10, right, for this particular keyword. And because now we're stretching this out, and I forget how many I drove right here, but I drove a good amount of downloads for 3 days. It didn't really move, or I drove small amounts for these 3 days. And then I started driving a little bit more for consistent. And now we're in the top 2 for this particular keyword. Now this keyword, we're able to, because I graded out, I'm like, what's this keyword again? But this keyword, we're not ranking. We're in like the 20s and 40s, right? We drove a lot. And then I was like, okay, let me drive a little bit for 3 days. Didn't work. So I was like, okay, let me drive a little bit and then a little bit more for a longer time period. And now we're number 2 for this particular keyword, right? So this is 11/30/2020. So very, very recent, okay? Now, this is what I kind of mentioned too. I haven't noticed, this has been pretty effective, whether the keyword that we're targeting is in the title, the subtitle, and keyword field. Now, I have noticed that certain keywords just won't move. I have tried for one of our keywords, it's been in the title and it's just not moving at all, right? Whatever I do, whether I throw 100 for 3 days, whether I throw 10 to 15 for 7 days, it just doesn't move. Sometimes you're going to run into that. I think the future tests I would be running, and that I am running, is, because we were actually kind of stuck for this before I started to move, is running the longer tail of a certain keyword. So for example, if you're targeting meditation, that's just an example. Never run it for that keyword. But if you were targeting meditation, maybe going after meditation for kids or something with meditation, but a longer phrase too. That's the keyword that I would then start to target, hoping that because I'm ranking higher for a longer tail term that has meditation in it, that I'll slowly start ranking better for meditation itself. So that's the example I would use, right? Cool, I think I've been pretty good about this. Here's another example of an app. We're number 20, started running these huge campaigns, and now we are in the top, I think this is like 2 or 3 right now. So really, really effective, guys. Please don't share it with a lot of people. Here is the website that I use, keyapp.top. And you guys are probably thinking, Steve, we don't share stuff. You share stuff. And I'm like, I know. I'm not going to share this that much. Trust me. This is just within our community. That's it. I love you guys. You joined. This is an exclusive community. So that's why I want to create it for you guys. But here's how you're going to do it. Now, you can do order and campaign. I don't know what the huge difference between the two, but I always do campaign. All right. I just put my app in here, and this is just a demo account. There's no money, but I just wanted to show you guys how to do it. And so Google Play, Apple is fine. I'm going to pick Apple because that's where my keyword is. This is rain sounds in the title. Here's where you can change the days, right? So I'll do 3 here just to show you guys. I have rain sounds in here because it's in the title. And then you can pick 80. I usually try to pick like something that I can get $50 for or $100. So I'll like do like 82. So I'm like, okay, cool. Nice round. I'm too lazy to do the math. All right, so here, 80, let's say 83. Cool. That's about $100, right? So $99.60. So like, cool, perfect. So I'm gonna go after that, and then you can hit start promotion. And then what the cool thing is, and I don't have any campaigns running or have ran, you can come into my orders and you can see the ones that you have done, and it'll show you the rankings, and it'll show you the rankings increase. And what it'll show you is something like this. This is a new chart. So when you see these keywords and it kind of shows you the ranks, you then click on that, you get to here, this chart, and it'll show you the historical ranking for 30 days and how many downloads you drove for that. So really, really cool tool. This is the one that I've been using. There's another one that a former client of ours actually used too, called Keyword Installs. Again, they use it. We found similar success to this. Be careful, but I have used it once or twice. These guys just gave me some funny money to play with to create that video that I actually took down from YouTube, but it works. And so I've just sort of stuck with them and been loyal to them, but both work pretty well. And the cool thing I want to show you guys too, because other videos I did mention, like how do you buy reviews? You can buy reviews through them. It's usually through downloads too. They do say like sometimes it doesn't work right here. So read through this. They do say that sometimes they'll get deleted, and we've actually noticed that. And it won't. They said, look, we will not refund your money, so use them at your own risk. Sometimes Apple does delete them, and we have a contact of our own that puts in reviews for our clients, and yes, we've seen the same thing. Apple will actually delete them. So be careful. Excuse me. So be careful, but like, if you wanted to buy reviews, this has been where I've been trying to buy some reviews too. All right. Hope that was helpful. Let me know what you think. Very powerful campaign. Shh, let's keep it between you and me. All right. And I think it's been one of these campaigns where now, I'm launching a bunch of apps of my own, and we're going to be running a lot of these campaigns. So I'll have more and more data, especially with my own apps for you guys to share. But for now, this is what has been working. So I want to get this out to you guys and share it with the community as well. All right, guys, if you have any questions, or if you run some campaigns and you've seen what works and what doesn't, please let me know. We'll keep it between just our community alone. It's a great community. I love all the interaction that's been happening there. And so if you want, let me know what kind of content you want me to create within this App Masters Academy, and I will try to do more of that. All right, guys, until next time, I'll see you on the next video. What is up, App Masters Academy? This is a video all about what's working in Google Play today. What's working on Google Play today, okay? I'm gonna share a case study that we did for one of our clients where we saw some phenomenal success, double the downloads, over 118% increase in downloads, and a tremendous increase in keyword rankings. And I wanna share with you really what's working, and more importantly, frankly, like what's not working when it comes to really increasing keyword rankings on Google Play. All right, so let's get into the screen share. All right, here we go, Google Play ASO. So here's the client, and I can't reveal too many clients or the keywords here, but I just wanna show you, if you look at the color codes, what's been happening. We're ranking really poorly for a lot of the keyword rankings, and then we're now ranking really well in the grand scheme of things. The most important thing to really note, and what I really want to share with you guys in this video, is this orange keyword where we weren't ranking. He was previously ranking, but it was in the 150s, but he wasn't ranking when we first started working together in July, and now is ranking #1 for that term. And I think that's a great, phenomenal case study that has come out of this particular app. All right, here's a brief summary. So the blue keyword went from 81 to 1, the purple keyword went from 77 to 5, and the green keyword went from 36 to 1, and more importantly, like I mentioned, the orange keyword went from not ranking at all the way to #1. So what did we do? All right, here's all the things we did, okay? Keyword optimization. I actually tried as you guys know, you guys are probably familiar with this, the iOS App Store, there's a Spanish Mexico localization. So Google Play actually has a Spanish US localization as well. So I actually put keywords in there, a different app title, different short description, all that stuff in here. The long description, I'm going to talk about keyword density as well as using some HTML tags within that, and then replying to reviews. So we actually within Google Play Console, you can reply to some reviews, and we actually did that with certain keywords that we want to rank for. We built backlinks the easy way, didn't do it the hard way, and we did the keyword install campaign that I created a YouTube video out of as well. Okay, so here's what we would do. All right, now looking back on everything that we did, I want to share with you guys, here's how I would do it now, and here's how we're doing it for other clients. Keyword optimization. So have your main keywords to the left. And that's what really helped us rank that orange keyword from not ranking at all to now ranking #1 for that term. So have it to the left. So if you were calm, for example, and you want to rank for meditation, you put meditation by calm as an example, okay? So having the main keywords that you want to rank for, definitely put it to the left. The developer name. Now you can change this within Google Play, but I'll get into some of the details, and you can sort of use that and have different keywords that you want to rank for in the developer name. The Spanish US hack, I would definitely have in there, and then the long description keyword density. Okay, so keywords on the left, here it is, the example. The keyword that you want to rank for, so like meditation, and then your app name. All right, and that's what we did for that orange keyword, and we saw phenomenal success. Like almost immediately, we saw immediate increase. Now, a little caveat in this, and I should have probably said this at the top, but this was an app that had a lot of downloads and a lot of good reviews. Will these same strategies work for newer apps? I don't think so. But if you do have a newer app, you're watching this video, reach out to me, and I wanna, if you have $1,000 worth of budget, now you're not spending on me, we're gonna run this on different marketing campaigns. I wanna run some campaigns with you, but just know that, okay? All right, next, here's the keyword that I wanna show you guys, the ranking. So this orange keyword weren't ranking at all. We moved it to the left around this date, and then we started to rank for it. Just, in the 70s, we ran some campaigns to get it to #1. So I'll share those strategies in a little bit. Here's the developer page. Now, I X'd out everything, but here's where you can change your developer name. And what I would suggest is having some good keywords in that developer name, all right? So this is very important. Unlike iOS, your developer name is like set right when you create the account. You can't change it anymore. On Google Play, you can change it, I believe. Here's the Spanish US trick. Now, I think it's working. I want to run some more case studies on this, but it won't hurt you at all. So what we did was we put English keywords, a different app name, a different short description. I tried this for one of these new keywords on this particular app, and we were starting to rank pretty well. We saw a slight increase in rankings. So I thought that there was some impact, and we didn't do anything else. All we did was add that particular keyword to the left in the Spanish US localization. So for example, going back to the calm example, if the US, the English US had meditation by calm, well, the Spanish US would then have mindfulness by calm. Okay, and that's what we did, and we saw good results. And the short description, I didn't change it too much because I just want to change one thing at a time, but I would probably have a different short description. And then the full description, I might just leave as is, but you might want to test that. Here's the long description. Here's a hack that I always recommend. And we did this, and this is straight pull from one of our clients. But essentially the long description, use H2 tags because it's sort of like SEO. SEO, if you guys know a little bit about it, H1 tags, which is actually on Google Play is going to be your app title. So I wouldn't put too many H1 tags, but the H2 tags have a good weight as well. And what we've been doing is having bold, a lot of H2 tags. On Google Play, this H2 tag actually just doesn't change the font size at all. So it doesn't change much, but you do want to put the bold because it will help you rank better for the particular keyword. And so we do this for all our clients. We usually, that first sentence that we have is short and it has the keyword. So for here, obviously we're trying to go for job search, but top job search with one-click application. We have the bold because we want to look bold. And then we have the H2 tags because Google is going to put more weight on those keywords with the H2 tags. So play around with it in your app long description, and only for Google Play. So after we've done all the keyword optimization right here, we're going to then run keyword install. And here's exactly what we did, right? And I'll give you the data. So we did the optimization. We didn't see too much of an increase in these keyword volumes. And then we ran this campaign and wow, like we saw immediate increases. And I'll show you exactly how much to do it because we have some data around that, some early data, but we saw some immediate increases. And as we continue doing it, we've seen even greater increases all the way to #1 and so forth. Okay, that's our whole approach. So what you want to do is run keyword install campaigns if it's greater than 20, if your keyword ranking is greater than 20. Even if it's not, actually, we're still running tests on this, but try to average around 100 downloads a day. Now, the company that we've been running towards, and I'll show you that a little bit, they recommended different strategies, but what we found from running things with this client is that if you run higher volume download velocity, then you're actually getting a better result. So it wasn't until we started running about 100 downloads a day for 3 days, and sometimes you want to go longer if you got the budget. It's not super expensive, but running 100 downloads a day was more effective for us. And I've seen that time and time again for other clients than running 5 or 6 or 5 or 7 downloads a day. Because we did that in the very beginning. We didn't see too much movement, but we threw 100, and it was the client actually who threw 100 on there. He's like, and then it was just like skyrocketed. So on iOS actually too, this is working really well, and I'll show you guys how to set that up at the end of the video. The next thing you want to do is, I still would reply to reviews with keywords. Now, I don't know if it'll have an immediate impact like keyword install campaigns will, but it will work. And plus, why does it hurt, right? Like, it doesn't hurt. You should do it anyways. It shows your other users that you're heavily involved, and it's not that much work. Like, we do it for our clients all the time, and it's not that much work. So I would still do that. And I've heard from the audience that sometimes, depending on the keyword, it does work in actually increase in rankings, and sometimes it doesn't. So I think it really depends on the difficulty of that particular keyword. But if the keyword is lower difficulty and you're trying to go after it, maybe go after the long tail terms by replying to reviews. So I would still suggest doing that. All right, now let's get into backlinks a little bit. Here's my thought process on backlinks. I think it's very difficult to execute. We have other videos, so check out the other videos within the App Masters Academy course that talk about backlinks, but it's very, very difficult to execute. When we did this for one of our clients right here, we used a site called Micro Workers, and I don't recommend doing this, but we use that site, and you can pay people to blog about anything. We got some things blogged about it. You can tell them, I told them, hey, link this particular keyword. So the strategy with backlinks is linking a particular keyword that you want to target, and that keyword is linked to your Google Play listing, okay? And that tells Google, just like on SEO, that the more backlinks you have, the more rankings you're going to have, the better rankings you're going to have on SEO, and same philosophy here on Google Play. But what I found is it might be a better long-term strategy. If you check out that video, he's seen some good results on it, and I probably would execute it alongside keyword install campaigns. Because the keyword install campaigns, now we've actually seen pretty good results and pretty long-lasting results. But at the same time, if this backlinks is a long-term strategy, right? As you build up more and more backlinks, you're actually going to rank really well for the long term for Google Play with these keyword rankings. And so maybe doing a burst campaign with the keyword install campaigns, as well as building your backlinks, would be a better strategy. So you're doing something short-term with these keyword install campaigns, and then long-term with these backlinks. That in a nutshell is how we were able to achieve all this great stuff. And like I said, it was a tremendous result. We saw about 118, not about, but 118% increase in downloads since we've been working together. And it wasn't until we started really toying around with these keyword install campaigns that we saw tremendous results. And so when we moved the keyword to the left right here, that's when we started showing up, and then we ran some keyword install campaigns. We got it all the way to #1, and we only ran it for 100 downloads for about 3 to 5 days. So you're gonna have to play around with it depending on the keyword, but we've seen really good results running about 100. So I would say anywhere from 89 to 100 downloads per day on that, using that service and running it for 3 days. All right, now here's the service that I use for these keyword install campaigns. They gave me some money to play around with at the very beginning in exchange for creating a video for them. I was like, done. And that's how we were able to figure out all these things. It's about 40 cents per download. So you can look at the prices here, but it's 𝐲app.top, and that's where we've run a lot of different campaigns, and they have different countries too. So keyword install campaigns, about 20 cents. I think it's on Android, 40 cents on Google Play. I'm sorry, vice versa. 20 cents on Android, and then 40 cents on iOS. And then they have all these different countries that you can buy for as well. Okay. So here's the website. I've already put my app in here. I don't want to reveal too many of my clients' apps. So you want to add your apps in here, and then it's pretty easy. You have to either put in the 𝐫𝐞𝐬, the Facebook or the Google Play bundle ID, or your Apple bundle ID. So just do that in there, click add, and then you can do that. And then what you want to do is go to add campaign. Okay, gives you a little bit more flexibility than add order. So I'll go add campaign, and then I'm gonna pick my app. So you can do Google Play or iOS. I'm gonna pick my app right here. Now here's the number of days that you can run it. So 3, okay? And then the keyword, so let's say I wanna go after rain sounds. 3 days. And here's where you can start messing with it. So I'm gonna say, let's say, and I try to pick a non-round number. So like 93, right? And then I'll run it for 3 days, 93. And then that's it. That's really just it. So it's about 40 cents for 279 downloads. You can pay $108. Now to add money, I haven't been able to make it work with my credit card, but I've just been using PayPal. But you want to go to add campaign. And then let me check out. Yeah, you don't want to do this one, but add campaign is the main one. I thought you were able to run different keywords, the amount of keywords, different keywords for each, or number of downloads for each thing. I can't figure out how. Maybe they released that. You can't do that anymore. But it used to be that we were able to do it, like have different download days for different number of downloads by different days. I guess they don't allow that anymore. Okay, so again, I would pick anywhere from 80, high 80s to 100. So it's sometimes 87, and then pick the keyword you want to go after. So they'll show you their rank, and then you can hit go. And the cool thing about this, you'll show this in my orders. No, but you'll see these in my orders, and you'll see the app name, you'll see the keyword, and you'll see your rankings. So you'll see the difference in rankings all within this platform. Again, this is my demo account because I don't want to reveal who I've been running this campaign for with our clients, but this is the service that I actually use. If you guys want to check out another service, just to let you know, keyword install campaigns, this is what the client was using, and I was using this. He wanted to just try out different services, but we've seen pretty similar results on both platforms. I think the pricing is pretty much the same. So you can try out this one. I have tried it once or twice. We've seen very similar results. I've just stuck with this one because I just know it a little bit more. Keyapp.top, but you can try keywordinstalls.com. All right, guys, that's it. Be careful when you're running these keyword install campaigns. It is a gray hat type of strategy. So I'm not promoting it. Use it at your own risk. Google and Apple do not want you to do these things. They can ban your app if you do get caught doing these things. So be very, very, very careful if you're going to run these keyword install campaigns. I've told my clients, here's what we're doing. Are you okay with it? They're usually okay with it. And we've seen good results on this. If you got any questions about this video, please let me know, steve@appmasters.com. And thank you for joining this academy. If there's any type of content that I can create for you, please email me. And I would love to for you as well. All right, I'll see you next time. What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, and welcome to another App Masters Virtual Summit with yours truly. And I'm going to be breaking down the 8 key components of a high converting pricing page. And we've been doing a lot of analysis on a lot of different clients, A/B testing a lot of different things to show you what's really working and what's helping our clients increase conversions. One client, we increased conversions by 70% just from a trial activation perspective, and 46% from a revenue per download perspective. So he's able to make more money per download, 46% more, and also increase his conversions by 70%. So I'm going to break that all down for you in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Here we go, the 8 key components to increase your conversions. All right, guys, just a little bit of background for those who might be new. I'm going to expect most of you guys are not, but we've served over 3,000 apps since 2013 when I first started the podcast and started making more content through the podcast, now through the YouTube channel and through our courses on Udemy and also through appmastersacademy.com. Just a few of our awesome clients the bigger names are on here as well. So Red Bull, Spot Hero, Nextdoor, which I got to work with, McAfee, loved working with them as well, and 𝐿𝐭, did some ASO for them. And then I'm sure you guys know this, but we've got a great podcast with close to 800 now. I'm sorry, 800 episodes in with some really awesome app developers. So Chris Barton, David Reichelt, got some amazing speakers. Been able to interview Matthew Hall, who created Crossy Road. Steve O'Here, who's done a couple of different interviews with me. He's a tech journalist at TechCrunch. And Keith Tier, who actually co-founded TechCrunch. So a lot of great people have been on the podcast. I recommend you check it out at masters.com/iTunes. If you haven't already subscribed, definitely do so. And then check out our YouTube channel at masters.com/YouTube. All right, let's get into that first one. Number one, show instant. Instant being the operative word, value. I'm gonna go through some examples real quick for you. So I love this quote from Donald Miller called, "If you confuse, you lose." So when I say instant value, I think a pricing page is less on the price. Customers aren't thinking, how expensive is this? As much as they are saying, where I like this app, I want to buy it now because they're on the pricing page. Where's the instant value? Where's the discount? Which package am I going to get the most bang for my buck? And I'm going to give you some examples. All right, here's a famous example. It's from a book called Predictably Irrational. Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely. Great book. I highly recommend it. And I saw this study. So here's what they did, The Economist. They had two subscription plans. The first one right here was the web-only plan, and that was about $59. And then they had print and web-only plan. That was $125. So what were the results? Well, 32 bought the print and web version, 32%, and 68 bought the web only. So people were buying this, 68, most of them, which means you're not making as much money per subscription, which might be very valuable to you because print might cost more, but that's essentially what they were doing. So what did they do? They added a third option. Here's the print subscription. So if you just want to print, it's only $125, but to get web and print, it's $125 as well. Again, this is what I mean by instant value. If I look at these three plans, I know instantly where the most value is. And I don't care about the $125 as much as like, whoa, this is a great deal. I get the print and the online for the same price as the print. And I saved like pretty much $60. Okay, done. And here's what happened. 84% bought the print and web, so this version, and only 16% bought the web only one. And I did this on a startup before, and we saw a 277% increase in conversions. So almost 300% increase in conversions. And we saw from like a 60-40 split to a monthly yearly to almost an 80 split to a yearly. So we're making more money per subscriber. And that's what you want to do. That's how we're able to get more revenue per download, by getting them to pay more, by getting them on the yearly subscription. And we've seen stats where the yearly subscription is the way to go to. I'll share that as one of the components later. So here's what I did. And this is exclusive to you, the all access members. This is not going to be shared on the App Masters Virtual Summit because I want to make sure that you guys feel special. So here's what we did for one of our clients, okay? So this was his normal pricing page. The yearly, no trial. The monthly, 3-day trial, and it's $299, okay? So he was getting about mostly people buying the monthly, okay? So I was like, you know what? Instant value. Here's what we're gonna do first. Let's make it easy to compare. All right, $167 for a month, for a yearly, $299. It's like, hey, that's a pretty good idea, right? No change whatsoever, okay? So no change whatsoever here. What I did next was I said, okay, well, let's try 7-day free trial. And I'll tell you why we picked 7 days in a little bit as well. I was like, let's try this 7-day free trial as well. So I said, okay, let's see what happens if we give them a 7-day free trial, which I know is the ideal spot. And then here's a 3-day free trial. Again, instant value, right? You can see I get 7 days free here, whereas 3 days. I'm already assuming. And this is an app where you have to sign up or you got to leave. So here's what happened. This is where we saw the 70% increase in conversions and 46% increase in average revenue per download. Why? Because we're getting a ton more people signing up for the yearly now. And we actually analyzed this 46% is after people have unsubscribed. So there were a percentage of people who signed up for the trial and didn't actually subscribe. So we took those out. So this 46% is representative of those that actually stayed on and eventually paid us the $20, okay? And in the App Masters Academy course, I have how you figure all this stuff out from a subscription perspective, but here, just know these raw numbers. All right, so here's what we found out from trials. And this is because, guys, I gotta tell you, App Masters Academy, great. The App Masters Elite, even better, right? It all comes with it together, the community aspect of it. And we had a community hangout where we were talking all about subscriptions. And here's what exactly we found out. 14-day trial, too long, okay? It actually leads to more unsubscribes. So the people who sign up and eventually don't ever pay you. We found that it's too long. So even if you're doing a 30-day trial, probably too long. People are like, cool, I'm gonna sign up and then I'm gonna cancel before the 30 days goes up. So 7-day is probably ideal. 3 days may work too. I think I would mix with it. So here, if I was kind of thinking, what if this was no trial and maybe this was 3-day trial? We can test that. So we didn't do that much analysis, but this is what I would tell you guys, right? Play with the 7-day and 3-day trial and maybe take out the trial. I do think people want a trial because it makes them feel more at ease. But if you didn't want to do it, mix and match these 7 and 3-day trials and maybe no trials and see if you can get a better conversion rate. That's what I would do. But that's the overall benefit. Look, 14 days, too long. 14 and plus, too long. 7 days and 3 days, probably the sweet spot for you. And mix and match and play. Okay, well, let's get on to number 2. I'm giving you the best stuff early on. Animation equals sales. You want slight animations on your pricing page because it makes your pricing page look more robust and gives your users the confidence that you've got the app is as good as you say it's going to be. So I'll give you a quick little example. And you don't want anything too confusing. Remember the quote, if you confuse, you lose. So here's some great examples. Reflectly, you see this? Little blinking icon. That's all you need. Here, Sweat with Kayla. You notice this 50%? Slight animations. The other ones that I've seen, and I unfortunately couldn't find a screenshot for you guys, were the button. This little animation right here, this, I don't know what it's called, but this animation will go right on the button. Slice. So that's one thing to try. And I tried to find a visual, I just couldn't find it. And so these are the small, slight animations that you need to create. And we, again, at Masters Elite, it's awesome mastermind. So it's part of the App Masters Academy, guys. If you want to sign up, please sign up for this. You're going to get a special offer for this. But within that community, this is where we found out a lot about this stuff, where one of the members A/B tested this, and it was for a game, and he found higher conversions when he had a slight animation like this. So this is the power of the community. I can only do so much as one person. All right, let's get to the next one. You guys know this, a good oldie but a goodie, but show the pricing page during the onboarding process. Show it during the onboarding process, okay? So some examples, Calm, obviously, they're asking you, so this is a great example too, what you should be doing within your app, especially something that's gonna use daily, but you just wanted to get some data on why people are downloading your app and what they wanna do within your app. So this, build self-esteem, learn to meditate. And what you can do with these words is, if you're finding that the majority of people are saying build self-esteem, put it into your screenshots. I had a friend of mine who increased his downloads by doing this essentially the survey and adding whatever they were saying to his screenshots, and he's able to increase downloads for his app without changing the keywords, just by adding the words that people were saying to him. So definitely this is one of the better reasons to do it. And also to regurgitate, best way to do it. Regurgitate what people are telling you, great way to market to them. All right, Calm. I put in why I'm using this app, little sign up screen that I can X out on, and then pricing page. Headspace, same thing, longer flow. You got to sign up, welcome, blah, 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 and pricing page. All right. And then I want to show you guys something different from a meditation app, but this is a call blocking app. What I love about this too is one of the elements that is very, very important is a drunken download, so to speak. This is somebody from Apple that told us this, but essentially when somebody opens your app, you want to pretend like they were drunk when they first downloaded it. So they have no idea what this app is about. And you want to sort of tell them again what this app is all about and why it's important. And so the first page, finally, no more annoying robocalls and telemarketers. Great. Tell you exactly what this app does. Social proof, social proof, social proof, blah, 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 features, benefits, and then pricing page. Okay, cool. Which leads me to social proof. Look, this is an example that I've shown in the past, but you see this on websites everywhere, right? And a lot of these key components that I'm pulling from, you see everywhere from a high converting website. But us people on mobile, we're just so slow. So that's why I want you to get ahead of the game, all right? So this is a screenshot test that we did for a client. These are the brand new screenshots. But once we added this screenshot with these logos of their awesome clients, guess what happened? 91% increase in downloads. And we didn't even change the app title or subtitle because I wanted to test it. I was like, let's not change anything. Let's just change the screenshots. And we saw a 91% increase in downloads, almost double the downloads just by adding really cool looking screenshots and some social proof. Okay, here's some more elements of social proof. And this, if you guys can see, a little tease for another key component, this app has something that I'm telling you is the future of pricing pages. Here's social proof. Reach your goal. So this was a fasting app, and I was like, hey, I want to hit 135. Currently at 138, but I want to hit 135. Just like it's a round number that I want to hit. Anyways, so 4x more successful with Fastic Plus. Great way of showing social proof. Here's the social proof right here again. All right. And here's where they're showing value, which I really love. Instant value. This is all I get for basic. And this is all that I get with plus. This is what you want to do. Like, hey, you only get this one thing. So figure out a way that you can show a pricing page where you only get like one pretty much one thing for the basic plan, for the free plan. Okay. And then here is where they tell you, why is this more 4 times likely? So in the FAQs, I love it. Then when you hit get Fastic Plus, you hit the pricing page. So they've got a couple of elements of social proof right there. Boom, right here, social proof, boom, social proof. And here's again, sort of like how they came up with the 4x. All right, Reflectly. I love these guys, right? Again, you seen a similar example. They got become 38% happier with Reflectly Premium. So social proof again, and they'll tell you why 38% right here in the most asked questions. Here's the 5 million along with the reviews, a lot of social proof. Here's their instant value. Again, see how people are stacking some of these key components? You only get this one little thing, but you get so much more. Okay, so really a lot. And then you hit continue, then you get this beautiful pricing page. All right. The cool thing about this pricing page is when you tap monthly, for example, you'll get that pop-up to buy. So you don't have to hit monthly and then hit this button. Nope, you just tap monthly, and then you'll get the Apple like pop-up thing. Okay, this is what I thought too. If you think about any like my all access pass guarantee or App Masters Academy or anything you buy online, there's usually a guarantee or FAQ, right? So I was like, wow, why aren't we doing this app as app developers? We know as app developers, we can provide a money back guarantee because essentially Apple's going to be taking care of it or Google's going to be taking care of it. So I'm like, why don't we just say money back guarantee? All the people online say it all the time. All these online course creators like myself, for example, we say it all the time. So guess what I found? Somebody's actually doing it. Spoiler alert, I actually had these screenshots for something else. And I was like, and I was looking through it back as I was putting this presentation together. I was like, hey, there's actually saying it because I was actually looking for an app that actually was saying it and I found it. I had it all along. Little did I know. But Aptiv, which is an app that's, like teaches you audio classes to work out, they have this 30-day money back guarantee, 1 year. You know that with this money back guarantee, it's actually through Apple. So if you're not satisfied, go tell Apple and they'll give you a refund, right? So I was like, we should do that more. I'm glad we found this. And here's what Fastic and Reflectly are doing, 2 examples. So can I have my money back if I change my mind? You click that and shows you that. And then is it possible to get a refund? So here, you want to sort of have these objections. These people have objections before they buy, right? They have a lot of questions. Not all consumers are like, good enough, let's go buy, right? Some want to know all these little details. And this is where you put it in there. So this is a way of saying, that's why I put FAQs, because I didn't think people were doing money back guarantees until I found these examples. And then FAQ is another way of doing it. If you didn't want to be so strong and say money back guarantee and have these angry customers, like talk to Apple. Well, you can say it this way. If you want a refund, go talk to Apple. That's what these guys say. So here's what they say. Payments via iTunes can only be approved and refunded by Apple, blah, blah, blah. Here, same thing. So very similar language on both of them if you want a refund. Then how do I cancel and so forth. All right. Again, for the Academy members only, I make it super simple for you guys. So there's a text file along with this video where you can download it. But I essentially went into both of these and sort of took it out and rewrote everything for you guys. So you guys can just copy and paste. But it's in the text file if you guys want to copy and paste this language. All right. Steve's looking out for you, man. All right. Number 6. This is a hack that if you guys want to start putting this, add some urgency. I've seen a lot of apps do this where Aptiv does this where I'm like, nope, I don't want to get started. And I X out and like, well, are you sure? We're going to give you 1 hour where we're going to give you a lot off. I'm like, all right, let me see this. And I love this countdown. I know this is a trick that online marketers, me included, are doing, right? Adding urgency. Be like, hey, do you want to get started? Because you want people to essentially say yes or no, right? Do you want it? Because if you just give them, keep popping this up, like, oh, maybe, maybe. That's why coupons have an expiration date. That's why everything has an expiration date to make us make a decision. Okay, Fastic does the same thing as on a second pop-up. You can do this on second pop-up or first open. Here, countdown, save, now. Here, ClassPass did this. Expires, they did only 10 minutes. I remember opening this and I'm like, whoa, 10 minutes, so cool. Took a screenshot, boom, save, right? So great way to monetize. And I had a friend, if you can't do this, you're like, man, these countdowns are so hard to build in. No problem. Here's what you do. Just a little pop-up. You have another in-app purchase. So for those who aren't familiar, you put another in-app purchase in there that's sort of hidden and only is shown during this pop-up. So this was another, I think this is a simple intermittent fasting app that I was checking out too. And essentially on first or second open, you have this pop-up that says, hey, you want to get 63% off lifetime offer. Now you can do a year. This is a year. Actually, this isn't lifetime offer. They're kind of confusing. But essentially they're saying $49 or $15 a year, heavily discounted from $40. A friend of mine does this promotion a lot. He sees tremendous sales anytime he does this pop-up. So you can do this as a pop-up as well. Maybe I would tell the developer, I want to develop something like this and I want to control on the back end. So I can kind of decide when I show this and when I don't show this. But this makes for a very high converting pricing page when you can give a steep discount like this and just show it one time because they won't see it again after they open it. So maybe the third pop-up or just show it on a certain day really, really works. All right. If you guys notice with the Reflectly and the Fastic examples from before, I believe the future of pricing pages on mobile are going to be long. Okay. Because as you can see, a lot of these pricing pages just have this little pop-up. You have the plans. But if you think about what's on the web, and you think it's counterintuitive, but there's a lot of stats that show on the web. Now, granted, the mobile user is a little bit different, so you don't make them super long. But on the web, really long pricing pages convert a lot better than short ones. Why? Because we don't read everything. We just skim to the part where we want to see more info. And the more things you have, the more people are like, okay, they've covered all my bases, right? So I might not care about these. I might skim over this, but I care about these feature sets. And I care about the success stories. And I care about the FAQs. So I'll just go to the part where I care about. And I think Fastic and Reflectly, if you look at both apps, I just sort of stumbled upon this, but they're very similar, right? I'll go to Reflectly. They both have these little bullet points in the very beginning. Then Reflectly has their social proof, right? And they both have this little table that shows you the value. Let's go back to this, the little value. And they're nothing more than 4 to 5, right? All these are locked. And you want to show only one thing. They both have only one thing. They both have a little social proof. And lastly, they both have this most asked questions. So when you're using this app, it's like, whoa, okay, it went long. And this is something I talked to Darius who's the CMO at Reflectly. This is a brand new page. So I asked him, I was like flat out like, hey, I noticed that you guys had this pop-up. Now you have this longer pricing page. Because I was starting to think about this as a hypothesis, but I didn't have data to back it up, right? And so I said, is this converting better? And all he said, without giving details. You just said, look, we're constantly testing. So if what you see on there, you can sort of assume that it's better because they're constantly A/B testing. So I do think that this is a great model to do. And we are running this with a few clients. So we will have some data soon enough, but I do love this. So that's why I made this part easy for you guys. So you guys can start implementing it as well. Okay. So we're essentially copying this for a couple of different clients. And he's like, Steve, I like this long pricing page. Let's do it. So he didn't want to give A/B test. Let's just do it. So we pretty much essentially copied this pricing page. Okay. Lastly, guys, number 8, push the yearly. You want to increase that revenue per download number. Okay. Essentially, because then you can sort of see how much you can pay per download. What's your CPI? What's your ideal CPI? You know, we got one of our clients, the 46% was very, very close to $1 now. And so now he knows he's like starting to spend a lot more on Apple search ads because he knows what his number is. So that revenue per download number is so key to have, and pushing that yearly is going to be key for you guys. I've said this in the past, but I want to give you quick little examples. So Blinkist, upon first open, this is what I see, right? And they're very much pushing the yearly. So $90 per year, $90 per year. They gave you 7 days. Like I said, 7 days. It's probably the ideal plan, the length of time for a trial. And then during the normal pricing page, here's what you see. So you get monthly and yearly, but they're really trying to push the yearly on first open. So push the yearly. That's what we did for our client right here. And this is why we were able to increase the revenue per download by 46% because a ton more people were buying the yearly option. And again, these increasing conversions, why? Because now instant value is seen. So you see the key components. Right now I'm starting to stack it, and we're starting to potentially go for a long pricing page soon. But here, social proof, you already had this, right? Reduce unwanted calls by 90%. And we had 90% before, and we switched to 99. And then instant value and pushing the yearly. All right, guys, that's it. What did you think? Let me know what you thought and what you are testing as well. You got a lot more because you bought the all access pass. So congratulations. I want to share a little bit more with you guys and not give away all the secrets for absolutely free. So let me know what you guys end up testing. Send me some feedback. What worked for you guys? Love to know, because knowledge is power. And if you guys are interested, you know, there is a coupon to get 50% off the App Masters Academy, which includes access to our private mastermind group called App Masters Elite. And that's where we try to share a lot of this data, right? Like I said, I'm only one person. When I put this deck together for a client, I was like sharing it with the group. I say, here's what we're working. Here's what I'm thinking. What is working for you guys? And that's how I was able to get some of the cool tips and components to piece it all together. So I fully believe in the power of community. Check it out. I'll show you guys a demo in another video as well. But appmastersacademy.com, the 50% coupon code is within this virtual summit somewhere as well. Go check that out. All right, guys, enjoy. Give me some feedback as well. You can reach me at steve@appmasters.com, and I'll see you guys on the YouTubes or the podcast. Definitely check those out. It's appmasters.com/iTunes, appmasters.com/Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel, appmasters.com/YouTube. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye. What is up, App Nation? Welcome to the App Masters Academy. And in this module, I want to go through a bunch of different $1 million pricing pages. These are apps generating over $1 million a year and sometimes a month. And I want to go through what they're doing right, how we can incorporate some of these pricing strategies into our apps to increase subscriptions. Now, these are primarily subscription-based apps, which I think we all know the world is moving towards. So in 2020, that's what we're going to be focusing more on, subscription-based apps, because obviously it just makes more sense for you as the app developer, for the consumers, for everybody involved, for Apple and the app stores and Google. They're all pushing subscription-based apps. And so we're going to go through each and every single one that I've put together, and you'll have access to this particular document, this presentation that I put together. And as I continue to update it, or I see more examples and take these screenshots, I'm going to continue to update this template as well. So without further ado, let's get into this template. Here we go. $1 million pricing pages brought to you by Steve P. Young and at masters.com. So let's go into some of these things. We're going to start off with Calm, one of my favorite meditation apps, making over $4 million a month. And we're going to go through their pricing pages. So for this template, you're going to see the proof and how much they're generating through according to Sensor Tower. And then I'm going to show you their pricing pages. All right. Here it is. So this is actually shown on during the onboarding process, but as you can see, here's what Calm does really well. So this was created in late 2019, just so you guys have a reference of when I actually pulled these screenshots. But here's what Calm does. As you can see, it's $60 a year, $4.99 a month, lifetime $3.99. The thing I like about this is obviously they're making a ton of money, right? And they're spending a lot of money as well, is some of the benefits that they have. So what I think they can do better is showing the pricing differences between the two. Things that I've seen done in other places is where the yearly option will have the monthly pricing just to anchor off the monthly, because we definitely want people off the yearly. And what I'll go into in another module with the email marketing stuff is they do have an email drip campaign where they offer you about, I think it was 50% off the lifetime. And so think about the lifetime and the lifetime value of your user. So I think Calm did the calculation where they knew I paid about 150 for the lifetime. But as you can see, that's about 2.5 years that I would have paid on Calm. And so if my lifetime value, if Calm is starting to do the math, if my lifetime value is about 2 years, they're going to make about 120 bucks from me. But if they get me onto a lifetime, they've just made an extra $50 than they maybe would have, right? So I might stay on Calm for 2 years, but now that I have a lifetime value, they actually squeezed out more money from me, and I may stop using the app after 2 years anyways. So think about how you can offer lifetime. I do like that. What I would have just liked to see here is what this $6 turns into a monthly, so that I can see this high monthly number and then be like, well, the yearly is so much cheaper. So that's what I would change, but I do love the benefits that you see here. All right, let's get into the next one. I wanted to kind of have this one too, just because they rank really well for meditation, and also because it's not a brand name like Calm, right? Everybody knows Calm, Headspace, and all these bigger meditation apps, but I wanted to pull this together because they're not a huge brand name. And as you can see, it's just meditation and sleep. So they're making about $50,000 a month. So it's not quite to $1 million yet. You need to be about 80,000 a month to be at $1 million, but I thought this was worth taking a look at. All right. So this is the page you see when you first open the app. Note that this is a weekly price. Okay. So I couldn't get out of it. I had to actually subscribe to use the app, but I couldn't get out of it. So just know that this is what they're doing. There's a little X. I think I could have X'd it out, but at the same time, like, they are pushing this huge. So just keep that in mind, as this is the first one I've seen doing weekly. Now, if you see some of these entertainment apps, like a celebrity voice changer app that I've done analysis on YouTube, you'll see that they are doing this weekly pricing plan, but this was the first time I saw a meditation app do the weekly. It's pretty interesting. I don't think from a long-term perspective, it's a good play. I think it's great to just be able to squeeze money out as you're maybe spending money on advertising. But I think in the long term, I don't think this weekly pricing makes a whole lot of sense. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, as I compare different meditation apps, I don't see too many doing weekly. So, but if you think about weekly, it's about $4, so it's 16 bucks, which isn't too much difference from Calm. The only downside is if I am on a weekly plan, I see that weekly credit card charge every single week. And so I prefer to just see one charge every year. But here, what I really like, again, here is you talk about some of the benefits and hit continue. So rather than subscribe, they hit continue. Okay. So just keep in mind these small little things, because I like to think about it. And you can tell that these small little differences in the way you word the button make a huge difference in the app. I wanted to also put together pricing pages from different categories of apps too. So we'll go through all that as well. Here's Carb Manager, the keto diet app. They're making $400,000 a month. And this was taken in September 2019. So you guys will get a sense of the date. I probably took this screenshot in October 2019 because Sensor Tower will have the month before those numbers. All right, so let's take a look at their pricing page. Now, this pricing page, if you guys get the app, is very, very long. All right. So as you can see, there's tons of content. What I did here was scroll through a bunch of them and then kind of highlight all this stuff. So as you can see with this little screenshot that I'm about right here on the app, they just have this long pricing page. And in the online marketing world, you'll see these pricing pages that are super duper long, right? With tons of testimonials, tons of benefits of why you should subscribe. And so that's what you get a sense of what these guys are doing as well. And the pricing page is just automatic. So you can buy 1 year, and this is what they're doing well, right? Here's the monthly pricing plan, which if you just sign up for the month, it's about $8.50. But if you sign up for 3 months, it's $5.50 a month. And then if you sign up for a whole year, it's only $3 a month. So I like how they priced it. They broke it down because look, unless you're a mathematician and genius, I can't do the math that fast. But if I'm able to see this, I'm able to sort of compare. And if I really like this app, $3 a month is not really that much. So I'm starting to think like $3 a month is nothing. So you want to show that really low price too, because in a way you're anchoring this $8 becomes the anchor point for this $3, right? So buy the 1 year, save 60% off. I really like this pricing page. This is always static while you can continue to scroll through this entire long page of why you should go premium. And I have a couple of notes on this as well. So really long pricing page, and the pricing option, which I didn't type out, but what I said here is really visible, right? The 1 year is super visible, and it's the more visually, it's the one that you can actually tap on. It doesn't seem like you can tap on these, even though you can as you download the app. Now again, take a look at these apps if you're super interested in it, because they might have changed from the time I took these screenshots and sort of analyzed these. All right, Blinkist. Really cool app as well. They summarize all your favorite books, all the popular books, into 15 minutes so that you don't have to read the whole book to get the gist of what the book is talking about. They're making $1 million a month, really doing well with their stuff. And so let's take a look at their pricing page. And I really like this. So during this onboarding process, look, shown versus during the first open, you see this. And you can slide through this. So broaden your knowledge, and they're showing you, hey, it's $90 per year, but it's only $7.50 per month. And it's, again, learn on the go with audio, excel in your career. You can see all the pricing plans, but they're pushing the yearly plan here. So this was shown during the first open. And that's what you're going to start to analyze towards the end of the video, the presentation. I'm going to show you all the commonalities of this, but you're starting to see that a lot of these apps are showing the pricing page during the onboarding experience, during that first open. As people start to learn more about your app, you also want them to sort of pay for the app as well. And the cool thing about Blinkist is when you try to subscribe, here's the page. So the first one is pushing the yearly. So they don't want you to sign up for the monthly. Obviously, yearly makes more sense for everybody because it's one time you get that credit card notice, you kind of forget about certain things. Monthly, you see it every month. You're like, do I really need this? And you can make a decision 12 times a year on whether you want to keep subscribing, or with the yearly option, you're just making that decision once. Okay. And again, a lot of these pricing pages, they have the benefits. So they're not just saying, here's what it is. These are short little benefits of why you should subscribe. You don't want to bombard them with a ton of different benefits. In my opinion, you might want to A/B test that, but you're going to start to notice that a lot of these apps just have a few bullet points on why you should subscribe. Next, let's look at Cozy Family Pads Organizer. This is an app that's been featured by Apple a lot, making over $100,000 a month. And this is sort of like a family calendar, helps families stay organized and keep track of different tasks and grocery lists. And so let's take a look at how their pricing page exists. Okay, as you can see, I don't love it, but hey, who am I to argue with an app that's making $100,000 a month? Who am I to argue with that? But here's the upgrade, right? Cozy Gold, it's $30 a month. As you can see, covers the whole family and every device. It's a pretty long pricing page. They really list out all the features. So they must understand from the users, and this is something that I think is going to be dependent on every single app, is what do your users really look for? And as you can see, this is pretty much, from what I can gather, okay, this is more geared towards the female of the family who may be managing more of these activities and wants to stay more organized. And that's just us men maybe not being like, oh, I don't want to be super organized about all this stuff, because what I'm just judging this is here all our contacts are all female, right? And even the ones that have certain ones, they have Mike and Gia, so the husband and wife's name. All right. And I think what I'm gathering from Cozy's, they understand, look, people want to see, my audience wants to see all the different features that come with this app. And so this is what you might see in a SaaS product, right? Here's what the free version gives you. Here's what the premium version gives you, and all these different features that you get. And so this is, again, a very long pricing page. I tried to take a screenshot of the entire long pricing page, and you can see that here's all the free version, and then here's everything else. No ads, calendar search, multiple reminders, blah, 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 all these other things. So really, really long pricing page. I think you have to A/B test to figure out what is more beneficial. As you can tell from our earlier versions, there were a few different bullet points on why you should subscribe. Here, they're just listing out a ton of different things. And I think it makes sense here because of the target audience. From my experience, it's not to sound sexist, and I hope it never comes off that way, but I think having dealt with female clients, they're more like detailed in that they want to understand exactly what a product comes with, and they want to know what I'm getting, what am I getting into? I don't want to pay for anything. Whereas I think with my male clients, they're more like on a gut feel, like, Steve, you sounds great, let's do it, right? They don't ask a lot of detailed questions, where I've found that my female clients tend to ask a lot of different questions, and they want to understand the process, what they're going to get exactly off of a package, versus my male clients who are like, sounds great, let's do it. So I think this makes sense, but I think you have to understand your user. So it is worth sort of A/B testing and really understanding your users. Okay, title, music. So again, I really wanted to go through a lot of different apps, and it took me a long time to put this together. But this app is a music app, and it is generating over $3 million a month. And you can see they're doing some advertising on YouTube as well. Okay, let's take a look. So here is their pricing page. It says, welcome to title. I've signed up, and then it just says choose subscription. I hit that, and then I'm hit with this. So you know what? Not super crazy cool in terms of pricing. Now, I haven't gone through using the app for a long time. So if you're in the music space, definitely check it out a little bit more than what I have done. I downloaded it, I played with it a little bit. I would spend about 5-10 minutes on an app just to get a sense, take these screenshots, and then have it and share it with you guys. But as you can see, super simple, choose subscription. Here's the premium. Here is the monthly, the other premium, the hi-fi. So super simple. They're making a ton of money. I think there's a lot more that they can probably do to this, but again, who am I to argue when they're making a ton of money? They do offer a 30-day free trial, which is pretty long, but again, who am I to argue when they're making $3 million a month? Okay, $3 million a month. And so obviously they're generating a lot of these subscribers, and they're making a ton more money than what we can see. But this is something that I want to show you guys as well for a music app. All right, Ultimate Guitar, they're making $300,000. So this is how you learn guitar. Let's take a look at their pricing page. Onboarding process, again, you can see I'm going through the onboarding process. Benefits, and then they're hitting me with this 7-day free full access. Start learning your favorite songs, try for free. So they're really harping on the free plan. Once I click that, they get to select. Again, I like how they've anchored it, right? So now it's only $2 a month. Are you kidding me? Versus $6 a month. You can see the huge savings on this. And so, I really like this. This is why I said with Calm, this is what they should try to do. Maybe they have done it, but I like how they're anchoring this now. This is totally in line with how I would want to approach this. All right. On the bottom of the homepage, this is the cool thing. So this was during the onboarding process, right? On the bottom of the homepage of the app, so I'm in the home section, I get this full access too. And so I bring this up because I love the fact that a few things I want to point out. I love the fact that if you have an app that has a big feed, don't be afraid of, if a user is in the free portion of the app, don't be afraid of using the bottom or some section of the homepage during this feed to promote the premium version, right? It's very, very important to do that. I've seen that it's done with Headspace, I believe, a couple of different apps where there's a feed. And so you can see access all the free stuff. And then they also use that section of that page to say, hey, want to sign up for the premium. So I really do like that. The other thing I want to point out is, if you don't know if you guys notice, is the pricing changes for the year. So here's a 7-day free. It's then $20 a month. Or if you don't want the trial, sign up for $15 a year. I really like this. And if I've been using this app for a little bit, I might just sign up for that $15, right? Hey, forget the trial. I'm on board. Like, I'll save that $5. So I really like this, how they've broken that up a little bit. And you can kind of get a sense of like, okay, that's $20 and I get the 7 days free, but this is 1 year. And maybe because we're app developers, we understand. I don't know if consumers would get confused between the difference between the $20 plan and the $15 plan. But I do see that one gives you 7-day free trial, whereas one just like no trial needed. I'm in. $15 for the whole year. I'm in. Sign me up. So I really want to point those two things out for this app. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Grammarly. So I did an analysis on YouTube. So if you guys want to check that out, that breaks down the email marketing of this app. I kind of use it a little bit because what I really like about this app is that it's a keyboard app. They're making over $300,000 a month on a keyboard app. Now, granted, I don't know in particular. I'm going to assume that Sensor Tower is only pulling this data from the app revenue, not necessarily the overall web revenue, because they do have a web presence and you can sign up through the web and you can still, they generate money that way. I'm going to assume that they're making much more on the web. And this Sensor Tower data is just the keyboard itself through the app stores, because that's what Sensor Tower is probably pulling. That's just my guess, okay? But I really like this app because it's a keyboard app, meaning I don't have to open up an app to sign up for this product, right? Like, so I'm like, why? How are you generating so much money if I don't ever have to open your app? I'm in the keyboard. So I wanted to break this down a little bit and check out that analysis if you guys want to check out the app a little bit more. But here's what they're doing. So go beyond grammar with pro features. Again, full set of advanced features available on your phone and your computer. What I really like, again, is you can start to notice a theme that they do calculate for you. So this $140 per year is calculated to $1167 a month. Now, these are probably going to be more business-oriented people. So $12 a month or $140 a year isn't as huge of an expense as, say, a meditation app or a fitness app, which, you know, people might go a little bit cheaper. But so know that's probably why they're able to charge a little bit more than others. But this is a clever app, and it is shown during the onboarding experience when people download the app, because once you have the app, you never really have to go back into the app. And so they use a lot of email marketing to really get their subscribers to pay for the premium. So that's what they do really well. And even within the keyboard, I recommend definitely checking out this app because I think they've done a phenomenal job. But even within the keyboard, they do a good job of making sure people understand that, hey, you know, you can go back to the app and you can subscribe. And so there's ways of bringing back people into the app to get them to subscribe if they're just a free user. All right. Got a few more left. So Reflectly, it is a journal app and they're making over $200,000 a month. And this is a really cool app. Again, really well designed, been featured by Apple a couple of different times, but it's a journaling app. So I want to take a look at what they're doing really well. All right. Again, onboard process. Here's the pricing page. A lot of people, as you can see, the big themes are pushing the yearly option. Again, they're breaking down the pricing because this is $10 a month. This is just $3 a month, includes a 7-day free trial, cancel before November 3rd. I really like how they sort of lay that out for you. Like if you sign up, you're gonna have to cancel before November 3rd and nothing will be billed. Like, oh, you know, it's a barrier, right? I think with pricing pages, you have to overcome barriers. What are people's objections? And so if you make me feel better, like, hey, nothing will be billed as long as you cancel before November 3rd, and that they give you a date rather than just saying 7-day free trial, it makes me feel more secure in wanting to subscribe to this. So daily questions, unlimited journaling, personal insights, and more, super clean. And then you hit continue. Obviously, they've done a good job of highlighting this pricing page. I like the color schemes here. This is sort of muted, and then all the language that you have to put with Apple as well. All right, let's look at some of the best practices. Here we go. Show the pricing page during the onboarding process. I've said this many times, but I have friends who've 2x'd their revenues and their conversions because they've added the pricing page during the onboarding process. Now, you wouldn't think that people would want to subscribe right when they download the app, but you'd be surprised at how many do. So definitely start incorporating that pricing page during the onboarding process. Push the yearly package. Again, you can see from Blinkist that they were able to push the yearly package during the onboarding process. And then when you see the pricing page, that's when you actually see the monthly plan, right? So there's various ways that you can do it, but try to push that yearly option as much as possible. Again, another friend of mine through one of the virtual summits, look up Rich Wagstaff. If you have access to that, you guys should have access to all the virtual summits. But he said he was able to double his revenues. I don't remember the exact numbers, but he's able to significantly increase his revenues by switching to purely a yearly package. So he doesn't even offer the monthly anymore because he was able to calculate the lifetime value of the user. And he saw that, hey, I may lose a little bit in conversions by just offering the yearly, but I'm able to make up for it because I'm getting more lifetime value, more people paying me more than I would normally have. And so he doubled his revenues just by pushing the yearly option and removing the monthly option. And lastly, guys, there's going to be a brand new course on this, but please, please, please use email marketing. I'm happy to help you out before I actually launch this email marketing course and tell you the activation sequence. That's what the course is going to be all about. How do you write a good activation sequence? Because the user just downloaded the app, you have their emails. How do you just send them a sequence of, let's say, 4 to 7 emails that would get them to subscribe to any of your annual plans? So definitely start incorporating email marketing if you haven't done so already. And the first thing that I would do is just send that welcome email and say, hey, welcome to the app. Let me know what I can help you with or why you downloaded that app. Just hit reply, because that's going to give you a ton of different insights on your user and what they're looking to see. And then 2 different questions would be why you download the app and what's missing. Like, can I help you learn anything from it? And is the number 1 simple for you to do? Why did you download the app? And were you able to simply find what you were looking to do? So if I download the app to relieve stress, were you able to do that? Number 2, were you able to do that? And then how can I improve it? I think those simple questions, if you just send that 1 email, are going to give you a ton of different insights on the app and how you can better market to your users. All right. That's it. Let me know what you guys think. If there's other things that you want to see from me, please let me know. If I'm not an expert on it, I'm gonna definitely try to find somebody who's an expert on it to help teach us all about the questions that you might have. All right, once again, you do have access to this particular template. I'll probably do another one, just a refresh. And if there's certain other apps that you guys wanna see pricing pages of, or certain category apps, please let me know and I will start creating those. It does take a long time, as you guys can see, but I think it is definitely worth it to see what other people are doing in the app space and have a guinea pig like me do it all for you. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think and then hit me up, steve@appmasters.com, if you have any questions. And I'm super excited that you guys are with the AppMasters community. So if you're not in that private Facebook group, please make sure you have access to that. And if you have any questions or any content that you want to see from me, please, please, please let me know as well. All right, I'll see you on the next video. Coming up, want to know how to use copyrighted keywords for your App Store optimization? Well, I'll show you exactly where to put these keywords and how to get ranked for them. Stay tuned. What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content in the app business. We are the app marketing agency that's going to really help your apps grow from 0 to 100,000. And if you already have some success, well, we're going to help you with some of that conversion rate optimization as well. In this video, I got a great question from Let's Get Lyrical. One more time, Let's Get Lyrical. Thank you for all the comments. He asked, how do you use copyrighted keywords in your title, short description, description, package name. How do you get away with it and how do you use it? Well, I'm going to answer that question for you. Let's get lyrical. What's your real name? I'd like to know that, but I'm going to answer that question for iOS and Google Play. So without further ado, let's get to it. First and foremost, I want to make sure that you guys understand when you are using copyrighted keywords, you want to find ones that have low competition. So when you put them into Sensor Tower or Mobile Action or App Tweak, you want to find some that have a little bit less competition than the other ones. And you can see how many apps show up for that copyrighted keyword as a way to gauge the competition. If there are less than 100 apps, it's probably less competitive than if there were thousands of apps that show up for that particular keyword. Now just look through some of my older videos if you want to find these keyword analysis tools and ASO tools, and I'll link those up into the description below. Let's go into App Store Connect so I can show you exactly where to put these copyrighted keywords. All right, here is my iTunes Connect. Now this is an app that I'm probably never going to launch, but I have it in prepare for submission mode so that I can show you and go into this and show you different ways to put these copyrighted keywords. Now, first and foremost, you have to know that the app name and the subtitle are visible to anybody in the App Store. So you might not want to put these keywords in there, okay? And this is the US. So the first and easiest way is to put them into the keyword fields. So let's go into that real quick and I'll show you how to do that. And that's right here, these keywords. So when you have copyrighted keywords, generally what I'll try to do is put them into the English, the US English, which is my primary language and country. I'll try to put those copyrighted keywords into this keyword field right here. Especially if these keywords have high traffic and low competition, I'm gonna use those keywords in the US keyword field. Now, if they have a little bit less traffic, so under 3 or 30, depending on which ASO tool you use, I might actually put them into the Spanish Mexico localization. Because as you guys know, if you've been following along, the Spanish Mexico localization is indexed by the US App Store. So if you put English keywords in here, you'll actually rank for those keywords on the US App Store. So if a copyrighted keyword doesn't have as much traffic, I'll put them into the Spanish Mexico localization. Now, if you want to get really ninja and aggressive with that copyright, here's what I'm going to show you. You're going to put the keywords into the Spanish Mexico app name. So use this drop down, go to Spanish Mexico. Let's say I have a copyrighted keyword, Miami Heat. Now, I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, but it is a basketball team, and sometimes I may not want to go aggressively after that. Well, one of our clients that was Miami based, we actually put Miami Heat into the Spanish Mexico app name, and we were ranking number 2 and 3 for that particular keyword. So that's where you hide it if you want to be really aggressive, because it helps the US App Store and nobody's going to really look at it if they're on the US App Store. Nobody's going to really see it. But because the app name has so much more weight than any other fields, because you're putting it into the app name, you're able to rank really high for that particular keyword, and you hide it into the Spanish Mexico localization. Now for Google Play, it's a lot less fun. So there's only a couple of ways that you can do this on Google Play: the short description and the long description. Now, I tend to bury copyrighted keywords into the long description. And on Google Play, you gotta be very, very careful, because Google will penalize you and they'll just remove your app from the App Store. So generally what I like to do is cleverly say, hey, if you're a big fan of these other apps that are copyrighted, then you're gonna love this app. It's a perfect complement or whatever it is, and it's usually buried in a long description. There's not other things that you can do with it on Google Play because everything is visible. You don't have the Spanish Mexico trick. You don't have any of this stuff. Now, one thing that I am testing is the same concept on Google Play, the Spanish Mexico, to see if I can get any type of ranking increase by having English keywords in the Spanish Mexico localization on Google Play. I don't have those tests yet, those test results, but that is something that I am considering. So if you beat me to the punch, please let me know as well. So guys, that's it. That's how you use copyrighted keywords. I'm a little bit more aggressive on the iOS side because Apple is very lenient and allows you to get away with certain things. Or if you're using the keyword, they may just not index you and just not penalize you at all as well. So Apple's a lot more lenient when you're working on these copyrighted keywords. But on Google Play, be very, very careful, because if you violate any of their policies, they're going to take your app down, and it's going to be a lot harder to get the app back up. So be very careful when you're running these type of strategies. If you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure you leave a comment. As you can tell, a lot of these videos are now created because of the questions I'm getting in the comments. So make sure you comment below if you got a question or what you thought about it or how you're using it as well. And lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe. We're growing this YouTube channel. It's growing. I'm so happy by it. So thank you guys so much for your attention. I really do appreciate. Lastly, we do have a podcast. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, a lot of the audio content from these YouTube videos are put onto the podcast as well. So if you're busy and you can't watch it on YouTube, definitely subscribe to the podcast as well. Go to appmasters.com/iTunes, and I'll see you on the next video. If you want to learn how to do that Spanish Mexico trick and double your keywords, check out this top video up here. And if you want to learn how to properly name your app for growth, well, check out this cool case study at the bottom right there. And stop being so sneaky, will ya? What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com. And in this video, I'm going to show you some quick little monetization hacks that you can use to double your revenue. And all this is backed by the most important thing that you'll need when you're hearing anything from me is data. So all this is backed by data. This isn't just my opinion. This isn't just me kind of thinking like, hey, on a whim, going on a gut experience type of thing. No, these are things that I've sort of compiled through everything that we're doing through the podcast, YouTube channel, everything else. And we have data to back up all the suggestions that I'm about to make to you. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, want a nice little handy dandy title slide too, some monetization hacks to double your revenue. For those who aren't familiar with me, I am the founder of App Masters. We've served over 3,000 apps, whether it's through our Udemy courses, our YouTube channel, our own individual courses. And so over 3,000 apps that we've helped along the way since 2013. Here are just a few of the bigger clients that we work with. And the one thing that I'm most proud of is the podcast. So I have a podcast where I've interviewed over 700, I think it's over 800 now. But Chris Barton, the co-founder of 𝐤𝐿, David Reichelt, a friend of mine who created Color Switch, Mariah Lichtenstern, who is part of the VC, Nancy Hua, who is the CEO and co-founder of Aptimize, and then Matthew Hall, who created Crossy Road. All these guys, what I really like to do with my platform, whether it's on YouTube, the podcast, or anything else, is really interview and learn from experts and sort of bounce different ideas out. And because I'm sharing all this content, people email me and say, Steve, hey, that strategy did work. And so that's why I'm able to provide you with data-backed tips on how to double your revenue. All right, number one, let's get started. It's show your pricing page during the onboarding process or the welcome flow, right? So I'm going to show you quick little examples of Calm. As you can see, they're asking you why you downloaded the app. I think that's a great thing to do so you can learn why your users are here and then sort of regurgitate to them. So if the popular opinion is learn to meditate, or I just build self-esteem, well, then you can use that in your marketing material, whether it's on your screenshots, whether it's on your pricing page. You want to get that feedback. And what I like about Calm is they're asking you before they're asking you to sign up. So they're asking why you're here before they ask you to sign up. And you can even X out the sign up. And then after you X that out, you see their pricing page. Okay. This pricing page could be better optimized, but let's get into that a little bit later. Headspace, same thing. So I wanted to show you really popular apps just to let you know that they're doing the same thing, what we've been recommending. And then another app is called No More Robo, which is an app that allows you to block annoying robocalls. And so you have a couple of different screens here and then the pricing page. So this is what I call the welcome flow, right? Think of it as a drunken download where somebody downloads your app and then you want to remind them, hey, here's what we do again. Because I might have found out about your app when we had a couple of drinks in me. I totally forgot about it. What is this app that's on my phone a couple of days later? Well, remind them. A few of the different tactics that works really well is having some social proof in it as well. So that's what you really want in your welcome flow. All right. So how important is the welcome flow? Okay, so somebody in my audience actually tracked where all his in-app purchases were coming from, and they came from two main areas: the onboarding flow, the welcome flow, the homepage, so the main page of his app, settings, and push notifications. Now, do you want to guess what percentage of all his in-app purchases came from the onboarding flow, the welcome flow? So I'm going to wait a couple of seconds. You go ahead and guess. Just say it out or write it down somewhere. There's no prizes here besides just astonishment, maybe. Ready? Here's the answer. 61%. The number one, this is order of the number of in-app purchases he got, but the number one spot where he got all his in-app purchases with 61% was the welcome flow. So it is critical that you have the pricing page during that welcome flow, right? Because most people, unlike a web traffic, when somebody downloads your app, it's actually a considered action. So they have already told you, hey, I'm a warm lead, right? So you want to make it really easy to, let's go back real quick. You want to make it really easy for them to buy, right? For an app like this, they're saying, look at how many calls we prevented, robocalls. We won some prizes, and then boom. So they're teasing you, they're getting you excited. Headspace, they're giving you a couple of different categories and then trying out a session before they try to get you to buy too. So these are all considered actions, and so you definitely want to show that pricing page during that welcome flow. All right, now I got another test. And on that note, okay, so here it is. We had one, again, because of the audience, somebody A/B tested this. So his app is a resume builder. On first open, he was like, hey, guys, I know you're excited to be here. Do you want to buy? That's A. And B, he was like, okay, well, let me just throw in a couple of different screens before I try to get them to buy. So which one do you think won here? Which A/B test won here? Ready? Here's the answer. Just by having a few different screens before the pricing page brought in 234%. So that's if you're just trying to exit, that's 3x more revenues just by having a few screens before you hit them with the pricing page. And I've actually seen a couple of different developers do this. So this is why I felt like it was worth mentioning. I've seen a couple of different apps that we've personally worked with just go straight in. Be like, hey, you're here, you're excited, you want to buy? So it's actually important to have about 3 screens. I think 3 is probably the right number. This same developer, he tested 5, he went down from 5 to 3, and he saw higher conversions. And another client that we got to work with, he went from 7 screens all the way to 4, and he saw an increase in conversions. So just by having a few different screens, I feel like 3 is a good number to stay within. You're going to see an increase in your revenues. Here's just a screen to be like, yo, this is legit. I'm not just making stuff up. So 234%, and this is in-app purchases. That's what the units are for, okay? So number 2, have an onboarding process. All right, number 1 was show your pricing page during the onboarding process. Number 2 is have an onboarding process. Don't get so aggressive. So I wanted to kind of take a look into this just so you guys have what makes good 3 intro screens. So let's take a look, all right? It's all about benefits. So don't have features. And I think Bart did a really good job. He created this app. He said, make a resume that wins interviews. It's a resume builder. You don't want to build resume, right? Like it's not like build a resume in 3 easy taps. No, what's the win? The win is, hey, you want to actually land that job. So a recruiter tested cover letter maker tool, right? CV, what it means. Anyways, so recruiter tested. Again, social proof, benefit oriented intro screens, and then resume templates built to impress. Again, you have a feature, templates, but they're built to impress. So it's all benefit, it's all warming up the user to eventually get them to buy. Okay, so those are what make a really good intro screen. All right, now you know that 60% is gone, 61% is gone. the number 2 source of revenues came from the homepage. So the main screen. You want to guess what that percentage is? I'm going to give you a little bit of a wait. Okay, you got a number in your head? All right, here it is. It is 26%. As you can see, close to 90%, 87% to be exact, of all his in-app purchases. Now, this is just one app, but we've seen it across the board that these two places, the welcome flow and the homepage or the main screen, drive the bulk of the revenue. People, and I wanted this stat and I love this stat because from what I've seen is that most developers hide it in the settings page. Oh, let me get them to use my app a little bit. But if you go to settings and then you click my profile and then you click the upgrade, then you'll see the upgrade. Come on, Steve, it's right there. I'm like, dude, nobody's going in there. Now I have finally stats to say, look, nobody's going there. Make sure you have it on the homepage. It's like you going to my website at masters.com and not finding any type of pricing or a way to contact me, right? You wouldn't see that. And so just like an app, your main screen, if you don't have a way for users to easily upgrade, then you're losing a lot of money. All right. You're leaving a lot of money on the table, I should say. All right. So number 3 is have the upgrade button on your main screen. All right. I'll give you a couple of different examples. This is a motivation app that is making over 600,000 a month. And this is where this little tiny thing is the upgrade button. Okay, great app, done a really good job. If you search for motivation, they're number 1. Anyways, so really doing well. Here's an app that we got to work with. And one of the main feedback that I gave them was, hey, allow me, this is a breastfeeding monitor tracker app. And I told them there's no way on this main screen that I'm probably coming to, if I'm a new parent every single day, there's no way for me to upgrade. So he added that and did a couple of different things I'm going to show you a little bit later on, but he went on to 12x his revenue. Again, make it easy. And I like this, level up your parenting, get unlimited tracking. So a benefit there. Okay. All right. This leads me into my next tip. Okay. Another A/B test. You thought this was just going to be a course, but this is fun, right? It's going to be a game too. So guess which pricing page won here. A, which is the one screen that we're all used to seeing. B, the super long screen. Guess, A or B. All right, give you a minute, figure it out. A couple of seconds, not a minute, that's too long. Are you ready? Here we go. B, a longer pricing page. 65% increase in revenues, about to show you the proof right here, in revenues just because of a longer pricing page. Now, I made this claim a few years back. I said, the future is long. And finally, I have enough stats to say I was right a couple of years ago. Because on the web, I know that longer pricing pages convert because people are going to read what they want to read. But you got to give them the information. You got to overcome the objections. And when you see something like this, you're like, okay, I really know what I'm buying. Versus this is like, okay, I kind of get it, you know, but here's like, yo, we're certified by teachers. We're awarded by the professionals, loved by users. We got some social proof. People do love us. Here's what you get with basic. Here's what you get with pro, right? I don't even think this is that optimized. But this longer pricing page instantly brought in more revenues. As you can see, no additional downloads, right? Everything's pretty much flat, but the revenues increase. And I think that's the biggest mistake. App developers always think that they need more downloads to grow, when this is a great study. Like Rudy, I work with this guy. He went to 17x his revenues just by changing a few things within his app. And then he's ultimately gone on to 100x his revenue. So it went from $1 a day. We've shared all this stuff publicly, from $1 a day to $100 a day, right? So he was about to throw away this app. And then he and I sat down together and then we really worked through the app and we brought those revenues up. And he's gone on post this. So we 100x before he did this additional 65% in revenues. So congratulations, Rudy. All right. Number 4, I already mentioned it. Long pricing pages. So let's break it down a little bit. Going back to my earlier example, this is an app that we helped them tell 12x his revenues. It's called Super Mama. What they did too was take my advice. They went long and I'm going to break down what a great long pricing page really entails. Okay, so number one, here's the, as you can see, this is just long scrolling. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, and I get to see all this stuff. All right, so I kind of broke it down to 4 different screens, but let's just break it down screen by screen. Okay, again, one long pricing page. This is what this is. Headline. Now, what they've done is they've personalized this headline. This is during the onboarding flow, the welcome flow. I told them I'm here because I want to establish breastfeeding. Okay, so they personalized this headline. You don't have to. Rudy didn't. He just threw out some numbers. He said be 4x more productive, right? So that's good. But you can also, it's key to have a benefit-oriented headline, right? Next thing, you want to have the pricing table. So front and center, hey, this looks similar to that one pager that we saw, right? No problem. Okay, great. Here's the pricing. I love how it's defaulted to the 12 months because you're definitely going to, spoiler alert, that's one of the things you want to do. Get people onto the yearly. All right, so super simple. Now I scroll up. Let's see what happens. All right, cool. Benefits. Benefits, benefits, benefits. Optimal schedule. Personalized stats. Be more conscious. These are all words that you can look in your App Store reviews to see what your users are saying. Or if you are so entrenched in your customers that you know what they're really looking for, regurgitate what your customers are already saying to you, what they love about your app. That's what you want to do here. Next, social proof. All right. You see this on every single website. You got featured on TechCrunch, Entrepreneur, Business Insider. I'm award winning, right? Like patent pending. But we don't say anything about social proof within the app. So definitely have some social proof. This page, again, scrolling up, features table. So what's the difference between basic and premium? What do I get for upgrading? People always want to know that, right? You see this on every SaaS product that you go into. You'll see a features table. Here's the free, or here's the basic, here's the premium, here's the gold, the platinum, right? Same thing here. All right, let's break this down. We're scrolling still, right? We're scrolling still. Okay, more testimonials. Really cool. Again, you would see that on any website. Another spot for the pricing page, just as a reminder, because I've already scrolled up. I saw the pricing page way up top. Got to show it again. Pricing page. And then frequently asked questions. One of the things you would normally see on a website. So frequently asked questions here. And the last thing is this button's always floating. No matter where I am in my scrolling, this button is always there. And the cool thing is defaulted to the yearly. All right. So I have to actually tap different buttons to get to the monthly. If I didn't and I just tapped go unlimited, I would go straight into the monthly. All right. So here it is. Beautiful. Again, if you look at Rudy's example, I know Rudy, so he doesn't mind me saying it. He wasn't even fully optimized. I think Supermama did a really good job of optimizing it. And so I showed off their example. But Rudy increased his revenues by 65%, even though his wasn't fully optimized. If you guys remember, the pricing page was only on top. He didn't even show it at the very bottom anymore. Okay. So you can screenshot this if you want, but here are just the summary of the main key elements that you want in this super long pricing. All right. Headline, pricing table, benefits, social proof, features table, testimonials, or more social proof, pricing table again, FAQs, definitely have a floating button. Now, here's another tip, all right? And we're going to play another game. Which one won, A or B? I'll give you a second to kind of look at what the difference is between the two. This is more like bullets, everything bundle, and this is more like, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit more text. Right? So which one do you think won, A or B? Ready? All right, here we go. 50% increase in revenues with A in conversions, right? So let's break this down. Why? This is benefits versus features, okay? You can see this is everything bundle. Get the entire collection of stickers, outfits, and makeup. So over $260 value. You're like, this is so great. Includes 140 content packs. So it's like, hey, here's what you're gonna get versus, hey, here's what you're gonna really get, right? Pay only once, send to your friends. So it just gives them a little bit more info and it's more benefit oriented. So when I was talking to Mark, my friend who made this app and shared this case study with me, he's like, you know what? I've been listening to your content about benefits, benefits, benefits. And we really try to go after the benefits. Get everything for just $19. Here's what he did, all the stickers, get free seasonal stickers, pay only once. This is not a subscription. Send them to your friends. And the one other thing that I want to show you guys here, if you use the word free, you can see that, right? We actually did a test for one of our clients and we said, this was like pay only once. Let's say this was these bullet points, right? The last 2 bullet points, we actually put the word free in there. And that was the only difference. And we drove 11% more conversion just by using the word free. All right. And so this is why Mark put get free seasonal stickers. So use the word free if you can. All right. The last thing is go yearly. Okay. And I want to show you some examples. We've actually seen this for a client of ours. We did some different hacks and we were able to drive more people into the yearly plan. And we saw a 46% increase in revenue per download. So this was an app that you either had to pay or get out. So easily for us to sort of pull those numbers. And the main metric that we want to look at is revenue per download. I think that's the main number you want to continually keep your eye on, especially when you think about monetization, because that easily allows you to see, okay, what's my cost per install? If my revenue per download is $2, well, maybe I want to be at $1.50 or $1, right? So that's a number you want to look at. And by pushing people into the more yearly package, you can see higher retention. It's less churn on the yearly offer. Because on the monthly, what we've typically seen, I've heard from other podcast guests is that a monthly user will probably stay on about 3 months and then cancel, right? So you can run the numbers, but one of my other friends who's a game developer, he doesn't even have a monthly plan anymore. And he's seen double his revenues just by having yearly. He's like, no, you can only get the yearly, okay? So we've seen all that across the board. You want to push people into the yearly. So I want to show you Blinkist real quick. Really great app. But this is their first open, their welcome flow, and they're pushing people into the yearly, right? 7-day free trial, start my 7-day free trial, $8.99 per year, $8.99 per year. But if you go to their normal pricing page, you see the yearly right here and then the monthly. So they weren't even showing you the monthly offer here. Not only when you go into the normal pricing page, like that upgrade button, then you see this normal one and you see the monthly offer. So they're hiding it. Okay. All right, guys, that was it, right? Easy hacks that you can use. Again, one thing I really want to stress, one thing I've been stressing for the past 1.5 years is that when you're thinking about growth and you're thinking about how do I drive more revenues, don't think about how do I drive more downloads. Think about how do I fix the product? How do I optimize the welcome flow? How do I optimize the pricing page so that I can convert more of your users? You don't always need more downloads. Rudy, right? He was only getting 50 downloads a day. He was able to 100% X, okay? $1 a day to 100% a day, $100 a day just by optimizing the product. Again, so simple, but that's the big myth that I want to make sure I bust. That's the right word I'm looking for. I'm trying to bust that myth. You don't need more downloads. You need to fix the product. All right, guys, that's it. If you want to follow my stuff, you're watching on Mobile Action, go to appmasters.com or go to appmasters.com/YouTube. And if you're part of the Academy, then definitely look out for that next part of this video where we're going to talk about one of the key elements of growing downloads too is having product market fit. And what do you need to ensure that your app is starting to find product market? Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.